Hello, it's MacGillivray from Beanstalk.Global. Do you want to raise your game? You and I both know that you never get a second chance at a first bite in the mercurial world of fresh produce. And if you're tired of inconsistent fresh produce quality, losing you loyal customers, you need to speak to Mark. Mark, please introduce yourself and your amazing business. Go.
Hi, Max. I'm Mark Loeffen from Delytics. We work with organizations, with companies to increase their repeat purchases, to increase the consumer acceptability. This leads to market leadership, stronger sales, increased repeat purchases, category growth, and reduced waste.
Mark, thank you. And I've been doing quite a bit of research on your business with your advice, and also looking at your website and looking at the fantastic track record that yourself and your business has got. And to me, there's some key elements to this, that you've consistently delivered measurable value to clients across the global fresh produce sector by combining scientific precision, data analytics, and consumer insight to improve fruit quality, marketability, and profitability through increased repeat purchases. And there seems to be 5 key facets to this: enhanced fruit quality and consistency, increased consumer demand, growth and export value. It's all about growth at the moment, advanced breeding innovation, data-driven decision-making, and proven long-term impact. And what I was keen to know, Mark, was, well, firstly, am I correct in those assumptions with those 5 key points?
Absolutely, Max. Yes.
Okay, and here's some thoughts. I think we got three big elements that you and I need to cover off today in our short little broadcast. Variability. There's a big problem, as you and I both know, well, the whole sector knows, in variability on eating quality. And
Yes.
Growers, this problem of growers taking shortcuts to get that early buck. And
Agreed.
also growers, marketeers, supermarkets, how can they benefit from improved consistent quality? What's the magic wand that you've got, you and your colleagues have got, Mark, that can cure those three ills? Shall we go for the first one? This problem about variability and eating quality. How can you create a solution, please?
What we look at is what we look to understand is what consumers enjoy eating. So we will do some research and find out. We'll do some consumer research, find out what the consumers are enjoying, and understand what fruit properties will lead to that. And then we'll set up systems that will guarantee the delivery of fruit that consumers enjoy eating every time. And the key to that is delivering that consistently. And we've achieved that many, many times in many different industries in many countries.
And Mark, you've got some fantastic brand names already associated with you, haven't you? That you've already created success with.
We've worked with peak industry bodies. We've worked with Zespri, helping them set some of their standards. Citrus in New Zealand and Australia, table grapes in Australia, melons in Australia we're working with right at the moment. We've been working with the James Hutton Institute in Dundee, Scotland, to help them with their breeding of their raspberries and blueberries.
Brilliant. And Mark, as you and I both know, the likes of soft fruit in the UK, we're seeing double-digit growth, especially with the move away from ultra-processed foods. People want fresh food. So it's even more important that all the fresh produce companies gain this stop the variability in quality issues. So with your business and with what you can deploy, you can offer this. You can offer that consistency and quality.
Absolutely. We're just in the latter stages of processing data, the 10th year of data from New Zealand Citrus. Before we started, the consumer acceptability or the compliance with standards was about 60%. Since we put in new standards and new systems, it's never dropped below 80%. And now the last 10 years, 6 years have been above 90% compliance. And we know that many, even at the minimum standard, that 75% of consumers will have a positive eating experience.
Yeah, well done. And there's 2 bits I just wanted to bring up. I've done quite a lot of filming this week, and with one particular fruit business I was filming with, I was saying about what sort of yield are you getting? And he said, Max, it's not yield we're after, it's quality.
Absolutely.
It's quality, because that's what the consumer want. And then it brought me back to a contact, a friend of mine I always mention. There's a lovely chap I'm going to introduce you to, called Richard Diplock, who is the go-to man in tomatoes in the UK. And as he says, if you can get a younger person to eat a tomato that has got the best quality and the best taste,
Yes.
Mark, you got them for life. And so
Absolutely.
so in this respect, you're a New Zealand-based company, but you're not looking to be parochial. Hence why we're having this conversation. You want to get your technology, you want to do what you do with your colleagues into the likes of the UK and Europe and further afield to the benefit of everyone. Is that correct?
That is correct. We are working in New Zealand and Australia. As I said, we have been working in the UK, and we're just starting to do some work in USA as we speak that we will mirror into China. The other
Wow.
point that you're making about consumer acceptability, we understand how consumers behave, and everyone watching this is a consumer. So if you go to the supermarket and you buy some really great fruit, the better it tastes, the more incentivized you are to come back and repurchase. If you have a bad eating experience, you think, oh, this tastes awful, you're out of the market for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you imagine what percentage of consumers are out of the market for more than 6 weeks or the whole season, that's what we're looking to avoid.
Yeah, and you just have to look at the numbers. Within the UK alone, 72 million people. If you could turn the dial even a couple of digits, that's going to be
Absolutely.
significant, let alone in the likes of the UK and Europe. And what about this conundrum I was also highlighting about growers taking shortcuts to get that early buck. So are you fairly confident that with your offering, you can assist those growers so that they don't have to take that risk?
Absolutely. We are very much aware. Our modeling of consumer behavior shows that these growers who go in early wreck the market for themselves, because it's an ongoing market. You know, you get the high prices, but it collapses the market. It is very, very well known. And for example, with New Zealand citrus, we have worked really, really hard to make sure that those first fruit that go into the market taste really good, and that sets the market up for the rest of the season.
Excellent. So I've got it. So the consumer, again, utilizing your technology and your colleagues' skill set, the consumers taste fantastic fresh produce at the start of the season from the get-go, and you've then got them. You got the hook.
Absolutely.
You have them all the way through the season. Excellent. So then coming to our final point, growers, marketeers, supermarkets, they're going to benefit from this improved consistent quality, correct?
Absolutely. We see this, we've seen this in New Zealand and in Australia, where the supermarkets, look, we're increasing repeat purchases, we're firming price, stronger sales. What I was saying at the beginning was direct feedback from one of the QA managers of a national supermarket in Australia. And in the New Zealand citrus industry, at one of the recent conferences, the supermarket said, we love what you've done with navel oranges. Can you please do it with mandarins as well? So it tells me that it is making a difference to their business.
Well done. And my word of the decade, Mark, is collaboration. You're not looking for a one-off purchase type of relationship with them with fresh produce companies. You want to be integral with their business so that they benefit not just in the short term, but in the long term. So again, am I correct that you're looking for that collaborative partnership relationship with fresh produce companies in the UK, in Europe, and in America and further afield?
Absolutely. We are looking for long-term relationships. We're not interested in coming in 5 minutes and disappearing. And we also want to, the more hooked in we are, the more we would like to benefit from that, so that our prosperity, as it were, links in with your prosperity. So both of us have an incentive to carry that on and improve, improve, improve.
Yeah, and it's very much like the automobile sector, Mark, isn't it? That if you think of a sophisticated plant building, let's look at minis. We have a lot of minis in the UK. The relationship that the manufacturers, BMW, have with their suppliers is on an open book basis. So when the units are flowing through the factory, they know exactly when they need another wiring loom, another set of tires, another engine. And I'm getting the view that with your business, you want to have that sort of partnership collaborative relationship with
Absolutely.
with growers and fresh produce companies as they grow, as we see this, hopefully, I'm going to use a big word, exponential growth of fresh produce consumption. They need you, your colleagues, your technology to assist them to get that quality. So they need to be aligned to you from the get-go, and Mark, for the long term.
Absolutely. What we find with companies like Zespri is we go in there, we start working with them, and they give us some relatively simple problems at the beginning, and then they say, "Oh, so you've solved that. Now here's some more difficult ones," and so on. And so the relationship grows over time, and there's more and more that we can do to help these companies as we get embedded with them. Definitely.
Excellent. And Mark, success. What does success look like in your eyes for a fresh produce company? Again, whether it be in the UK or Europe, having this collaborative partnership with you. What does success look like for them having this relationship with you, please?
Oh, we're looking at market leadership, increased repeat
Wow.
purchases, increased sales, less waste, all of the above. It just puts you, we have done this before. We've put organizations at basically the top as one of the top selling fruits in wherever they're selling.
Excellent. So there's a saying, isn't there, within fresh produce? There's so much profitability held up within the supply chain, and we shouldn't be trying to chase perhaps new exciting things like AI. Obviously, we have to, but when there's actually deploying the likes of yourself within the supply chain could turn the dial significantly, and to use present your words back to you, to make those fresh produce companies market leaders in their sectors.
Absolutely. The interesting thing is we hear all the time, oh, we need AI tools, or we need something to tell you which fruit to select at the supermarket. When we're dealing with New Zealand navel oranges, they're all good. You can't buy a bad New Zealand navel orange. So you don't need any technology to tell you which is the good fruit because they're all good.
Yeah, well done. So it feels like you're not reinventing the wheel. You're just making the wheel faster to the benefit of everyone in the sector. Mark,
Absolutely.
How do we find out more about your business and to contact you and to start this relationship with yourself and your colleagues? How do we find out more about you, please?
Come and have a look at our website, Delytics.com. Very simple. And come and send me an email, mark.loeffen@delytics.com, and organise a video chat, and we can start the process.
Excellent. Mark, and just to wrap up, I've got to ask you, and careful with your answer here, what's your favourite fresh produce?
Gold kiwi fruit.
We're going to get you to like British Bramley apples. That's that's going to be our challenge. Or you can have one in each hand. There you go. That will be success for both of us.
Excellent. Thank you, Max.
Mark, we wish you all the best for the future. It's such an exciting thing to have this sort of evolution coming into the sector to the benefit of everyone. Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Max.